In this video, you'll discover how one of music's most untouchable icons ended up behind bars, why the court's split verdict shocked even prosecutors, and what Diddy's October sentencing could mean for the celebrity elite. The most unexpected part? What investigators allegedly found hidden in plain sight. If your legacy was collapsing in real time, would you try to hide or confess? Drop your take in the comments. Is Diddy guilty or just a scapegoat for something deeper? You could hear the tension snap like a drumstick on steel. One moment, Diddy was stone-faced in a tailored Navy suit. The next, bail denied. The judge cited credible flight risk and potential for witness interference. And just like that, the courtroom's atmosphere shifted from swagger to silence. This wasn't just a court ruling, it was a power check on a man once untouchable. When billionaires lose leverage, the fall is instant and merciless. Never assume past success protects future freedom. How do you convict someone and still leave half the courtroom stunned? The jury's decision was a legal curveball, guilty on obstruction and conspiracy, but not guilty on trafficking or RICO violations. It was a verdict that satisfied no one entirely. Prosecutors called it progress. The defense called it proof of innocence. 2 charges stuck, 2 slipped. Reputation wrecked either way. In split decisions, perception hits harder than prison time. Imagine your private jet, once a flex on every album cover, getting tagged as federal evidence. That's what happened when authorities seized Diddy's 2 Gulfstreams, alleging they were used to transport illicit materials and unregistered guests to underground events. What once screamed success now whispers suspicion. Luxury becomes liability when movement maps your crimes. Even engines have receipts, and the feds read every mile. Behind a soundproof studio wall in Diddy's Los Angeles estate, agents found a hidden vault. No blueprint, no mention in property records. Inside, alleged blackmail files, encrypted hard drives, and detailed financial ledgers. It wasn't the size of the vault, it was the silence around it. Hidden rooms don't just conceal secrets, they often confirm them. When you're worth millions, paranoia builds fortresses and leaves trails. He was once Diddy's right-hand man. Now he's the prosecution's star witness. The former bodyguard claimed he witnessed everything: hush money, surveillance rooms, and guests leaving parties visibly shaken. But under cross-examination, cracks formed. Past lawsuits, personal grudges, inconsistent timelines. A witness can flip a case or fracture it completely. Truth and revenge sometimes wear the same face. After the split verdict, the U.S. attorney's statement was brief but loaded. "This is not the end." Prosecutors hinted at ongoing investigations tied to newly surfaced digital evidence and cooperating witnesses. In legal speak, that's a warning shot with teeth. One conviction often opens the door for 10 more. Momentum in court cases builds quietly, then hits like thunder. For years, Diddy wasn't just in the culture, he was the culture. From fashion to vodka to music charts, his brand printed money and shaped movements. But after the verdict, corporate partners vanished almost overnight. Revolt TV paused programming, Ciroc distanced, endorsements evaporated. Clout fades fast when credibility crumbles. Influence without integrity is just noise with expensive packaging. Once the bubble bursts, even icons fall silent. Behind Diddy's clean public image were years of buried accusations. 11 civil settlements, many tied to non-disclosure agreements so tight, even names were erased. But 2 whistleblowers recently broke their silence, leaking redacted documents and payout timelines. What was once airtight is now unraveling, detail by damning detail. Secrecy doesn't erase truth. It only delays its spotlight. When NDAs crack, reputations collapse like dominoes. In 2005, a fire broke out at one of Diddy's recording studios. Ruled accidental at the time, dismissed by most. But now, federal agents believe that fire destroyed tapes and documents tied to current allegations. A cold case turns hot when evidence once lost starts making sense. Time doesn't bury secrets, it just delays the reckoning. Old smoke is revealing new fire. If you're still watching, you're ahead of the curve. Hit that like button if you believe celebrity status shouldn't mean immunity, and share if this story deserves more eyes. Let's keep this conversation lit. After years in silence, 3 women stepped into the spotlight following the verdict, each with a chillingly similar story: coercion, surveillance, and retaliation. One said, "We weren't just ignored, we were erased." Now, their voices are rippling through the media, legal blogs, and survivor forums. When one person speaks up, it's courage. When 3 do, it's momentum. Survivor silence doesn't mean absence, it means fear. Until fear breaks. October might feel distant, but legal gears are already turning. Experts say the obstruction conviction alone could carry up to 10 years. Add conspiracy, and that number climbs fast. The judge will weigh public impact, intent, and past behavior. In high-profile cases, optics influence outcomes as much as evidence. Delayed sentencing isn't mercy, it's meticulous preparation. The clock's ticking, but it's the paperwork that decides the blow. Diddy wasn't partying alone, and now the ripple effect begins. At least 3 other high-profile names have reportedly received subpoenas, including one chart-topping rapper and a veteran film producer. When one domino falls, the rest don't stand still. Fame doesn't shield. If anything, it spotlights. This case isn't just about one man, it's about a network unraveling. #FreeDiddy and Diddy deserved it trended simultaneously, each hashtag its own battleground. Some fans defend him as a target of cancel culture, others demand he face long overdue consequences. The comments aren't just loud, they're fractured by generation, race, and ideology. The internet doesn't wait for verdicts. It writes its own. Public opinion is fast, unforgiving, and rarely nuanced. Online, justice is trial by emoji. Clips once dismissed as quirky or cryptic are now being rewatched with forensic intensity. Diddy's offhand comments about control, watching people, and power plays in relationships suddenly read like red flags instead of bravado. In hindsight, the truth often sounds a lot like a confession. Context transforms curiosity into condemnation. What we laugh at in real time can haunt in rewind. Sources close to Diddy described him as paranoid, withdrawn, and explosive. He's reportedly refused visitors, is barely eating, and blames betrayals from inside his circle. Some insiders say he's planning a memoir. Others think he's spiraling. Power can insulate you from consequences, but not from yourself. Isolation is louder when you built your empire on applause. The silence in his world right now, deafening. Diddy's financial empire, once bulletproof, is leaking from every angle. Revolt TV halted partnerships, Ciroc distribution slowed, and Sean John is rumored to be shopping for new investors. His brand was built on visibility, and now that spotlight is radioactive. When trust fades, revenue follows. Celebrity equity isn't money, it's momentum. And right now, his business isn't just bruised, it's hemorrhaging. Diddy's legal team isn't done. They've already hinted at filing an appeal right after sentencing. The strategy? Challenge the obstruction ruling and argue that the conspiracy charge was based on circumstantial evidence. But appeals aren't get-out-of-jail-free cards. They're legal marathons. An appeal is a second chance, not a guaranteed escape. Reversals happen, but rarely in the court of public opinion. Legal battles may continue, but reputations rarely recover twice. The next 3 months could detonate new revelations. Prosecutors are rumored to be expanding their RICO investigation. More sealed documents are expected to surface, and at least one former collaborator may flip under pressure. This isn't a slow fade. It's a live countdown. Between now and sentencing, silence will speak volumes. Watch for sudden settlements, new subpoenas, and vanishing allies. From billionaire to bail denial, Diddy's fall isn't just personal, it's symbolic. This case is unraveling the threads between fame, power, and protection. And with October sentencing looming, this story is far from over. Want more deep dives on high-stakes celebrity trials? You know what to do. This video is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal or professional advice. Always consult a qualified expert as needed.